This is the Deep Rough Podcast. I'm your host, Ali Gary. And at the Deep Rough Podcast, we discuss all things golf. So let's get right into it. And the topic of today's video is why Charles Barkley should do the LIV Tour. And I thought about this for a long time, and I was trying to figure out exactly why I felt so adamantly that he should do this tour. And when it all came down to it, of course you got the money aspect of it. For Charles personally, where people could understand, and I'm not speaking for him, but, from our perspective as a fan, you got the money aspect of it, less time at work. TNT, people don't realize is on, 2 or 3 times a week, and he has to be in Atlanta to do that, and they're there till, it has to be past midnight. It just seems like a lot of work. And Charles has been doing this for a very long time. And one thing that is undeniable is that as great of a basketball Charles Barkley was, and he gets nowhere near the credit for how good he really was. Charles Barkley is one of the best players you would ever have seen. He was a true one on a team. When a lot of people get disguised as a one, Charles Barkley was just, he was a difference maker. He was the next thing to Michael Jordan for a long time. And with that being said, I view Charles Barkley as one of the greatest basketball players of all time, no questions asked. But Charles, what he has done in this sports world has been nothing short of amazing. Charles Barkley is coined the king of sports media, and it's based around his his willingness to say what's on his mind. And Charles he's grown into this role in a way that I could have never foreseen. And he's not just good at what he does. He's a real talent. And he might be better as an announcer than he was as a basketball player, if as crazy as that sounds. And I say that because he's so unique in the way of being able to state things in a way that very dumb and intelligent people can both be like, oh yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Going into this golf world, especially with the LIV Tour and the possibility of it, and the possibility of what it can become, I think it gives Charles an opportunity to really define himself as a sports media person. And I think it gives him the opportunity to go into the, if you will, like the Vin Scullys, the Jack Bucks, Al Michaels, Marv Alberts, Dick Enbergs, Brett Musburgers of the world, and there's a lot of others, but I think it gives him a chance to be looked at in that way, versus so much, Charles Barkley being Charles Barkley on TNT, which is a phenomenal thing, But I think it gives him a chance to go into another stratosphere at something he's just supernaturally gifted at. And I also think it gives him a chance to really build his brand globally in a much more solid way, being that when the LIV Tour is done evolving in the way that it's going to evolve, it is going to have a global appeal to it that the PGA never had because of each country's rooting interests. And Charles Barkley is one of the unique personalities that any culture, any background, any walk of life can identify with and embrace. And, where I'm from, Charles is what we call a real dude. And a real dude is going to be able to thrive in most situations and connect with most people. And I think Charles has an unbelievable opportunity to take that to a whole nother level with a whole nother crowd and reinventing himself in a whole nother way. And I would like to know what you think. So like, comment, and subscribe and all that stuff. And I'll talk to you soon.